Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi, and Law is here as well.
What's up?
Hello, everybody. Hello, dudes and dudettes and everything in between.
Hello.
We're going to go around the league today because, frankly, nothing's happening for the Blackhawks.
Nothing unexpected.
Nothing unexpected.
Nothing unexpected.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to do some around the league stuff. We're going to talk about the Leafs staying alive. Brind'Amour having contract issues, question mark.
Boy.
Lots to get to today, and we're going to. So do us a favor. Make sure you smash that like button on the YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Podcast listeners, rate, review, subscribe, listen. You know, that's always helpful. All that good stuff we would greatly appreciate. And those 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify go a really, really long way. Even if you don't like us, even if you want to roast us, even if you want to say, this show could use more of this and less of this, make it 5 stars. We'll still read what you have to say.
Right.
But the 5-star review is key. We need that. So take 30 seconds to do that for us.
Constructive criticism in a 5-star review will be considered. Constructive criticism in a 1-star review will be ignored.
No, you're thrown in the Pudwack pile and dispatched to Pudwackistan.
It's not a good place. Lots of people there.
There are so many people there.
It's overcrowded.
So many.
Overcrowded
And I
country.
loved Pudwackistan resident Brad Marshon getting tackled by the referee last night.
He embellished that, too.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, he was like, oh, my God. That was good. I mean, yes, Brad Marchand is a Pudwack, but Brad Marchand is also one of the most entertaining hockey players.
Yes, the game is better with him in it, no doubt.
He does a lot of things that make opposing fan bases angry. But if he played for your favorite team, you would have a 63 jersey in a heartbeat.
Yes, he would be beloved here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we all loved Andrew Shaw during his playing days here, and Brad Marchand is 10 times more effective.
Andrew Shaw can't carry Brad Marchand's jockstrap when it comes to hockey ability.
Yeah, he'd probably call it a slur anyway.
Yeah, that too.
Probably.
Another one bites the dust. Another guy we used to like. Well, stop talking for a while.
As you
champ.
mentioned, Pudwackistan. The
he
population is growing.
He's in Parliament of Pudwackistan.
the Grand Chancellor of Pudwackistan. But yeah, so the Leafs stay alive. They do it without Auston Matthews, which is interesting.
Should never have re-signed him.
Auston Matthews holds the Maple Leafs back.
Yeah, he's too selfish. He scores too many goals.
Yeah.
Scores too many goals. They don't play like a team when he's out there.
Nope.
Well, it's what I was saying yesterday, and
Trade
so
him to
much of this
Chicago.
Leafs thing is just like it's so fan-driven, and I get why there's players that wouldn't want to be there. I mean, the game ends, and there's Steve Dangle, after a loss, like screaming and crying into the
That's
ether.
a Sportsnet employee,
And
by the way.
hundreds of thousands of people are watching this. It's a playoff series, man. There's ebbs and flows. There's wins and losses.
But he does that in a November
I know,
regular
but
season game.
my God, for your
Dude's
own
gonna-
sanity, you can't take every game as if it's life or death. Now, every game for the Leafs, as of now, is life or death because they're trailing in the series 3-2. But I really think that that's a factor. Do you see the video I posted on Instagram last night of the Pudwack Leafs fan in his basement in full Leafs gear? He's got 15 jerseys framed on the wall, helmets, gloves. Like, you are a child, man.
Yeah.
Going crazy, chugging beers because the Leafs won. Like, stop living on the high wire.
Go touch a boob.
Well, he had 2 of his own.
Go live life. Like, I get, I understand. Like, hey, diehard sports fans are what we are all about here. But there's a line where it's like, you don't live and die, like, literally with everything. And McLevin asked, why do we all hate on Steve?
I don't hate him.
I don't hate Steve. I find him entertaining, but I also can only take him in small doses.
Yeah.
Like, getting upset about playoff losses, okay.
Of course.
Having that same emotion in Game 3 is a little much for me. But he's made it work. It's his shtick. It's what's gotten him where he is.
Right.
So he's not going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have died of a heart attack 4 years ago if I did that every night. And I love this Steve Dangle. You ever see the clip? I think it was last year where he let professional wrestler Eric Young chop him.
Was that the draft?
yeah.
It was, yeah.
That was in Nashville.
I heard the echo of that chop all the way here in Chicago. Like, he's entertaining. I can't do it for more than like 3 minutes at a time.
I mean, my bigger point is not so much.
dog.
It's not directed at him. It's to the immediate, like, massive reaction either way after every Leafs result.
He is the personification of the Leafs fan.
Yes.
That's why it works. Because when I want to see a Leafs fan cry after a tough loss, I turn on Steve.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to get exactly. He basically takes all the comments from every social media platform, channels it into his microphone. So I don't have to go searching around. I find it in one spot.
How do the Leafs feel right there?
I do have to say about the Leafs, I did say they were going to win. Just if you listen to What Chaos on Monday, and you should be listening to them every day because they are, when they're not grab-assing, they are one heck of a hockey podcast, unlike the TNT intermission show that is just nothing but grab-ass these days. It's a little too much for me, but they had Dow Goes Brown on Monday, and he's talking about the Leafs, and he had some really interesting thoughts about them, basically saying they're never as good as Leafs fans and the media have said they were. They've never won a President's Trophy. They rarely ever have home ice advantage in a playoff series. They finished 10th in the league this year. And then there was another interesting point he had about people say, well, when the going gets tough, the Leaf fold. He said, actually, that's the exact opposite of this team for the last few years. When their backs are against the wall, they usually play the best. It's when things are going good, they piss down their leg. And so he's totally said they're going to win Game 5. They'll probably get it back to Boston for Game 7, and then because they think, oh, we won 2 in a row, things are going great. Then they'll completely embarrass themselves because that's what this team does.
It's like we said yesterday, Game 7, 4 overtime, Ryan Reeves' own goal. It has to end as painfully as possible.
Well, we had a own goal last night, right? Was that last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Neil twice?
At
least one. I saw the Neil Pionk one.
Yeah.
Pionk.
I thought they
me and
each,
him, one and the same.
I thought in that game there's one from each team.
Yeah, I mean, with the Leafs, like, it's just they've always had, well, not always, but in the last almost a decade, they've had a glut of offensive talent, like star players, and playing in Toronto obviously elevates your status around the league in the NHL one way or the other, for better or worse. But it's not that they've been this perfect, no flaws team that is just underachieved. I mean, we've talked about it. We talked about it, Monday's show? How about the Seth Jones for Mitch Marner, because they haven't had a solidified defensive group pretty much the entire time that they've had this core four, quote unquote, together, and this window of playoff contention and cup contention open. They haven't had a solidified defensive group that you're like, yeah, that's one of the best in the league. They haven't had a goaltender that you could look at that's like, yeah, that's one of the best in the league. That's a guy that's going to steal you some games in a series. They haven't had either of those things through this entire stretch run, which you look at the teams that go deep, the teams that win cups, they need to have either a goaltender go on a run and get hot, or a guy that's like a Vezina quality type of player, or you need a defense that can shut down multiple lines of the opposition while your forwards group does the job that they're supposed to do, which I mean, they do in spurts, in shifts. I can't think of a time when the Maple Leafs in the postseason in the last, let's say, 6 years have had all of their guys firing at the same time. It's either Matthews is on fire, or Marner's carrying them, or Nylander's carrying them through a couple games. It's never that all three or Tavares. It's never that all of them are clicking at the same time. And I think that holds them back.
I don't know if that's Leafs exclusive though, because I feel like I'd have to go back and check game logs and stuff, but it always sort of felt that way during the Hawks playoff runs too, where like, Taves would go quiet for a while, or Hossa would go quiet for a while, and then somebody else would pick up the slack, and like that's what it takes. But I think what you're saying is, and I think it's accurate, is you're spending too much up front and not enough on the back end. You
That's
need a
the
good
problem.
goalie. You need solid. Defense is it's okay,
And
it's probably a league average defense.
Right. When you have so much money wrapped up in your forwards, it's hard to get quality goaltending and defense.
Right.
Oh, Jake McCabe had a goal last night.
Hell yeah. First
Stud.
playoff goal for him.
Yeah, playoff goal for Jake McCabe. I saw that, and I was like, oh, I know Mario's smiling somewhere.
Then on
I
Price
was.
Picks.
That was nice.
No, he's not on Price
I don't know if
Picks.
he's on the goal scoring part of Prize Picks. I know he's on the hits usually, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone mentioned, by the way, that the Leafs just struggle to play at home, and I think that's kind of what we're talking about. Is that
that's also a weird
the palpable
factor to
energy
them. Yeah.
from the fan base and this always reminds me of, remember the 08 Cubs? Good season, get in the playoffs. Ryan Dempster starts against the Dodgers.
Walks the ballpark.
And he walked 7 people. He had a great year all year, but everyone that was at that game said you could tell before the first pitch was out that the Cubs were going to lose. There was like just this energy, this thought of we can't win. We are cursed. Everything bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the feeling that the Leafs have to have. And look, for good reason, they've fallen short time after time after time.
Yeah.
Like it's real. It's a real thing, and it's not just pulled from nothing. They have years and years and years of scars to feel that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you get over that hump. And like when the way the Cubs got over that hump was they brought in guys who were not affected by the pressure. Even when Anthony Rizzo told David Ross, like, I am so nervous right now, being able to admit that and say it out loud means that it's not crushing him, right? It's not weighing them down. That team you had Baez and Bryant and Rizzo and like Lesser. All those guys had the swagger to be like, I don't care about some cat.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
care about a goat. Let's go fucking win this thing.
Yeah.
And that's what Jason Hayward, pretty much said during the rain delay. Like, what are we doing here? Let's go win this thing. We're the best team. Let's show it. And like something has to happen, which is why like when they brought in the moves, the guys they did with Domi and Bertuzzi and Reeves, I was kind of like, I see what they're doing here because it is a different kind of a guy. But maybe there's not enough. And again, it's all up front. It's all up front.
I think there's something to be said to bring in that kind of guy to that team to try and like
Identity guys.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're trying when that guy is Ryan Reeves, who doesn't have a spot in your roster 82 games a year,
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. I mean, you talk about like, okay, Rizzo and Bryant and like all those guys, Hayward, and like those were guys that were everyday guys. And the everyday guys for the Leafs, the ones that have the biggest pressure on their shoulders are the ones that have been there for almost all of the modern day, like, Leafs curse, situation. So, I mean, it's a tough market because of the eyes that are on you all the time. I mean, the media pressure is tenfold than what it is even here. Chicago is a major media market. Blackhawks are, there's a good number of reporters each practice, each game, but it's so much more in Toronto, and everything is under a microscope. So
even when they're here in Chicago, a road game,
Yeah.
they have more reporters than the Blackhawks have.
basically, yeah,
They do.
Yeah.
Most
it's-
Canadian teams are
so
like
it's
that.
it is the external pressure, it is the fan pressure, it is the pressure to do it because it's the Maple Leafs, and it's this, 1967 is basically a 4-letter word in Maple Leafs culture. So it's just like there's so much to overcome that, like you said, like I really don't know what you do to fix it, because the current guys you have now, they've been there.
Yeah.
You've tried it. It doesn't work with them.
and
Again and again and
Who's
again.
got more
and
swag than
again.
Auston Matthews and William?
I don't
Nylander?
know.
Like,
I really don't know.
it's like
Well, there's your shirt. Swag don't win cups.
swag don't
yeah.
win cups.
So I mean, it's like you said, like when the back's against their wall, like they've been able to perform and winning Game 5 without Auston Matthews. I didn't expect them to do that. Now they got Game 6 coming up at home. I mean, you'd think you'd feed off that atmosphere, but we'll see what happens.
Can we talk about the other side of this for a second and pressure?
Boston.
This is the exact same situation the Bruins were in last year. Mm-hmm. They had a comfortable 3-1 lead over the Florida Panthers.
Yep.
Everybody, that series was over. They dominated Game 3. They dominated Game 4.
Did they lose Game 5 in overtime?
Game 5 at home in overtime.
Yeah.
Just like last night.
Yeah.
And we all know how that went. Now, the Maple Leafs are not the Florida Panthers of last year. We all know that.
These also aren't the same Bruins as last year.
Maybe not.
Not as fraudulent, I would say.
That career choke artist, Patrice Bergeron's gone. They're not going to
out of
here.
Yeah.
But, when did they get to the point of, here we go again? This is why you got to close out teams the second you Carolina didn't waste any time last night.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry. I still love watching Varlamov freaking embarrass himself.
Yeah, he's a pud.
Couldn't happen. Speaking of Pudwackistan, that guy is a long-time resident.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got 2 homes in
I was going to say he's got a lake house, too.
right by Lake Dingleberry. He's right on the lake. But, we got the Bruins. We'll see what happens. I mean, I wonder if our guy Nick Felino is texting his guys come on, let's not do this again.
Please don't.
It sucked a lot last year.
By the way, speaking of Felino, just one last point on this is it refers to
a guy that's been on both sides of it.
Well, you were saying about Ryan Reeves. Gets great. You can come and be the motivational speaker, but if you're not playing, it doesn't matter.
The worst player doesn't motivate anybody.
That's what our guys on Whatcast, I mentioned them again a couple weeks ago, said teams are always looking for their Nick Felino, and what makes Felino special is not just that he can go and be that guy, but he's also a legitimate contributor to the team.
Yeah.
He makes the team better. There's a lot of guys that are old that have been around, like Nick Felino. There's not a lot that can still contribute the way he does while delivering that message. So everybody's looking for a guy like that. And I'm glad he's here for 2 more years.
Yeah, at least.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. Maybe we can get Nick fitted out with a pair of Shady Rays.
Might need it. Chicago time summer.
Our pals are back. My favorite sunglasses in the whole wide world. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That number's grown since the last time we had them on the show.
That's a CHGO bump, baby.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all your outdoor adventures or sitting in Chicago traffic like I spend most of my day.
Yeah.
They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair that matches your style. They probably have your style in your favorite team's colors, too. Ooh. I love Shady Rays. I've been a customer and a lover of theirs long before CHGO was even a thing. I was wearing Shady Rays. They're awesome. They look great. They're very durable. They won't break. And the optics is crystal clear. When you're driving, they're great. I wear them all the time. Even if it's not sunny, I still have them on. They just make everything look sharper. Plus, if your shades do ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you don't love your shades, you can exchange them for a brand new pair or worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving you their best deal of the season. Head to ShadyRays.com, use the promo code CHGO, and get 35% off.
That's nice.
Every single pair of polarized sunglasses you buy. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of
That's more people than before. Way to go, CHGO people, diehards, and others. We appreciate that. And the one thing that sucks about this job is that we are on the air weekdays at 2:30, which means I can't be at Wrigley weekdays at 1:20.
That's true.
Soon, We'll get there.
Soon.
I'm going to take a day off. But if you're looking to get to an MLB game because the weather is finally broken, I think we can say that.
We should do a remote from the bleachers.
Yeah, Harry Carey did it. We can do it.
Friday 120 Club. We'll just be all on our phones from the bleachers.
Let's do it.
That's probably that's no connection issues, right?
Special guests,
Seamless.
Greg Braggs and Cody Del Mendo.
Yeah, why not?
We'll keep it like a camera on them as they deteriorate as the game goes on. Should be a lot of fun. But if you want to get some tickets to see your favorite Major League Baseball team, Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. So with those killer last-minute deals, those all-in prices, and the views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. You can browse through the Game Time app, see all the things they've got there. Like, it's not just MLB. It's every sport you can imagine. Theater, comedy, everything's there. Love the view from your seat because if you're going out of town, you want to know exactly what the view is going to look like. Maybe you've never been to, what do they call it? Is it an American Family Field in Milwaukee now?
Sure.
Right?
Yes,
yeah, I think that's what it's called now.
Yeah.
You never been there before? You going up for a game?
Nope,
Make sure
I've only been to Miller Park. Never been to American Family Insurance place.
You don't want to sit
It's
behind
pretty
Bernie
similar.
Brewer. He's got a giant head. You won't be able to see anything.
I like the Miller Park. They shouldn't have changed it.
Nah.
Get those tickets. Use that view from your seat deal, and it will help you find exactly what you're looking for. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
How's your ears, Jay? Did you get pressure in your ears just now?
No.
I don't know.
Lawrence?
I just
Did you both get that?
We both like at the same time
What's happening?
like a
touched our
pressure
ears.
drop in the office?
CHGO Ghost.
Lost cabin pressure.
The
I was
CHGO
talking, so
Ghost
probably
just ran
for-
right
Yeah,
through
maybe
us.
you're
That
right,
could have
yeah.
been it.
That was weird.
Made that aneurysm go a little.
Well, maybe the air conditioner will work.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what it is.
Anyways,
Yeah. Well, we got two more series tonight. We've got the Golden Knights and Stars. That's at 6:30. Kings and Oilers. Oilers lead 3-1. Stars and Knights are tied at 2. And I said this the other day, and I think a lot of people feel this way. Golden Knights, piss off. I'm tired of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Man, were you watching Game 3 with PK Subban just going off on the Golden Knights?
I did not. I thought you were going to talk about Mark Stone's wife taking a picture with the guy wearing the LTIR 61 jersey.
Yeah. That was good.
She's in on the
That's
bit.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, why not?
No, PK Subban would, like, after the second intermission or during the second intermission in Game 3 was just like, the Golden Knights are trash. Like, he was just going off about, like, I don't know how they should be down 3-0 in this series. They have not been the best team at all, but yet here they are. Like, you won a cup last year. Like he was offended. Like he was maybe he's got some money on them. I don't know. But he was like angry, and I was loving it because he wasn't wrong in any part. Like the Stars have outplayed the Golden Knights in all 4 games.
Yeah.
And somehow it's tied 2-2.
The Stars are so much better than them. The roster is so much better.
And then Bruce Cassidy, I think, just, you know that meme with like the 2 red buttons?
Yeah.
He's hit the panic button. He's changing goalies. He's got his lineup all changed up.
Aiden Hill is in tonight.
No pressure, kid. Go out and get him.
Yeah, I've loved Dallas all year. You just look at that roster top to bottom. They're deep up front and on the blue line. Ottinger's a good goalie. And they've got different styles. They can adapt their play style.
Yeah.
Like, they remind me, I'm not comparing them to this level, but the way they're built is similar to the way the Hawks dynasty was built, where you want to play fast, let's play fast. You want to play hard, let's play hard. You want to mix it up, let's go. We can hang with anybody for any role, and I really see that in Dallas. And, like, I'm glad the series is tied because I feel like, okay, Dallas can kind of breathe now.
All
a
we got to
little
do
bit.
is win on home ice.
Yeah, right.
Win a home game. Nobody's done that yet.
I know.
in that
It's
series.
crazy. It's crazy, but I've been so impressed with them all year, and I just couldn't believe it was where it was in that series. And yeah, it did feel like, even though, when I saw Subban say that and I went and checked Natural Stat Trick, and Vegas had an advantage in possession, but again, like Subban said, I don't care about any of that stuff. The eye test tells me Vegas is not engaged here and they're not playing well enough, and I agree with that. it's I don't know. I think Dallas is going to take it. I have them winning the cup, so I hope they
yeah,
do.
Same.
But I'm just over to the whole Vegas
I've
thing.
been over Vegas since like game 1 of the 2018 Stanley Cup final. I was done with them.
I was over Vegas by like day 4 during the Super Bowl week this week. That was rough.
Hey,
Yeah.
4 days in Vegas is
It was
too many.
Actually, it was 6.
That's too many.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all right. We're going to be back
right.
there in June.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't knock it.
By the way,
right now.
has it been officially confirmed? Is it the Sphere?
Yes.
Yeah, it's at the Sphere.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was like
they haven't
they
announced
think
where the
so,
awards
but
are.
They don't
gonna
know where the
be.
award show is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so
okay.
does that mean the Preds won't be in attendance?
Probably not. Yeah, they'll have to. Yeah, they won't be able to be there.
We all can't say what a great GM David Poyle was, even though he
No,
never
he's not
won
GM
shit.
anymore. He had his send off.
Good
His
riddance.
grand send off for his 1 Stanley Cup final appearance.
Way
in
to go.
25 years of being the GM there, or however long it was.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, this series
King of mid.
This series has been entertaining. I mean, some tight games. I mean, it's never that either team has looked out of it. It's two great teams. But yeah, I still believe Dallas is still built more sufficiently. Like I just feel like top to bottom, they have more to offer, and hopefully it runs its course. Because again, I also picked them to win the cup. So, and I just think they're too solid of a roster to not find success in the postseason. They have young guys contributing. Wyatt Johnson's really
It's been awesome.
He's
stepped up.
He's
and-
had the most fun in a week in Vegas for a kid that is not old enough to get in the casinos
It's true.
ever.
Yeah.
3 goals, including an OT
Yeah.
winner.
And then you got veteran guys like Pavelski and Sagan and Ben and Miro Heiskanen defensively. Like they have every box checked. Like they should be having more success than they've been having. So I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
They
in
are
Game
dealing
5.
with some injuries, though. They've got some guys. I know Mason Marchment, who's a big part of that bottom 6, is a game-time decision.
Yeah.
Yanni Hakanpää, who's just fun
Great
to say,
name.
is out.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's when you have a deep team, you can sustain. And Jack Eichel continues to just prove a lot of critics wrong. Because if it wasn't for Jack Eichel, this series might be over.
Right. Yeah.
He has been the best player in that series, period. Both
Yeah.
teams.
Stud.
He should have won the Conn Smythe last year.
He had a case.
He's been amazing, and for years in Buffalo, I don't know if people ever call him a bust, but there was a lot of criticisms out there.
Yeah, and the
But
whole thing
amazing
with the surgery was weird.
I
and
think
that was
people
more
in
on the
Buffalo,
Sabres.
because they didn't get McDavid, Eichel had to do what McDavid was doing.
Well, Eichel's got a cup before McDavid did, so
It's true. Not with Buffalo.
Not for Buffalo, though.
Well, did they blame the rest of your all failed GMs that came during his time there?
Yeah, it's weird though. That why would that fall? The fact that Eichel is not McDavid, I don't know. It's weird that they would hold that against him. Like, what's he supposed to do? Like,
Right.
if the Blackhawks had drafted Adam Fantilli or Leo Carlsson this year, at 2 or 3, had they not won a draft lottery, I don't think people would be like, why are these guys keeping up with Bedard?
I think part of that is that Buffalo was the worst team that year,
Yeah,
and then they didn't win the lottery, so they had to be, second
Yeah,
best. So you
there's
had to
a
get
lot
Eichel instead of McDavid. So yeah, had the Blackhawks last year been the worst team and then didn't win the lottery, and then had to be like Fantilli or Carlson or whatever,
fair.
then you'd be like, this should have been Bedard. Like, why isn't Leo Carlson getting 60 points? Why isn't Adam Fantilli going to win the Calder? Like, I think we'd be a little bit more salty about it, but luckily we're not.
right.
yeah, and we won't be on Monday either for the draft lottery. Monday,
Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
We're going to be live during the draft lottery on Tuesday. We don't know if we'll be here or we'll be somewhere else.
We'll be here or there.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, we're working on it. But either way,
And if the barn is watching, check your messages, please. Thank
yeah,
you.
check your DMs. Sliding in there with feet pics and show requests.
Yes, but the other side, the other game tonight, you guys have Dallas as your Cup champions.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Edmonton Oilers.
It's looking like a solid pick.
And,
That's a good pick.
They won a 1-0 playoff game last time out. When would you have ever thought this Edmonton Oilers team could win a 1-0 playoff game? Stuart Skinner. I mean, I people wanted to run him out of town, but he was the better goalie last year. And then to start this year, they were like, "Hey, we still think Jack Campbell is a thing," when he never has been and never will be. And then Skinner had some confidence issues, but he's been really good. He's been great in this series. They've won the track meet game. They've won the 6-1 game. Now they've won the 1-0 game. That was like the one thing that a lot of people didn't think that this team could do, and then they did it.
Mm-hmm.
I've picked them before the year started. Didn't look good in October. Looked a little better in November. It's looking good now. I stuck with them just because I picked them in the preseason. I hate to change my pick. Dallas was definitely making me think, or Florida. Those two teams were like, should I change my pick? But I'm sticking with them. They're looking really good. But they got to close it out tonight.
Yeah.
You can't let teams stick around. Ask the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
The Hurricanes last night said, nope, we're not doing this. 6-3. I mean, the Islanders kept it close until they scored 2 goals in 8 seconds. It was insane. Like, I didn't see either of those goals.
They've done that twice in this series.
Well, they scored 3
Carolina
goals
did.
in a minute 19 when we were at the barn in game 2 or game 1, whatever.
Yeah, we looked up like.
Yeah, they scored 2 like 10 seconds apart.
9 seconds, yeah.
Last night was 2 and 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Because the puck hits off the end boards and Varlamov is out there swimming. And the easiest goal Stefan Nason's ever going to score in his life. I literally, as I said, I was hosting trivia last night, so I had the games on my iPad with no sound on, and it was 3-3. And I looked up to read a question. By the time I was done reading the question, it was 5-3. I was like, what happened?
You need shorter questions.
Yeah, really.
It was 8 seconds. I got to read the question 2 or 3 times before moving on to the next
That's
one.
right.
That's
man.
true.
People don't like to listen.
That's awesome.
No, they don't.
One thing, too, just as a note on the Oilers, like, yes, they've looked really good. Let's not forget how really good of a team the Kings are.
Yeah.
Like, and they are making mincemeat of them. They're like, it's not even really close.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Oilers were going to win the series, but I thought it was going to be a freaking battle, and it would
Like
be
6 or 7
a very
games,
similar
yeah.
to the Leafs.
You can't
angst
have
with the Oilers, but the Oilers are just like.
You can't have average goaltending and expect to beat the
That's true.
Oilers.
Yeah,
You can
you're
have
right.
the greatest defensive playing team, great young forwards. If you've got average goaltending against the Edmonton Oilers, you're not winning a 7-game series.
Yeah,
You're just
trouble.
not.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean they won 7-4, 6-1, and 1-0, and their only loss is the overtime loss.
Yeah.
So I mean, it one bounced the other way. It could have been a sweep.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like they had a pretty drastic edge in play in that overtime loss too. If I mean, they all kind of blend together, but I
Yeah,
do feel
I'd
like
have
they had a pretty significant edge in play. By the way, speaking of the Hurricanes, let's talk about Rod Brind'Amour next. Lots of stuff surfacing about him today. Nothing untoward. He's due a contract, and depending on who you listen to, he might be on his way out of Carolina. So we'll get to that next. But with the games on tonight, I know I'm going to be sitting back on the couch with a nice cold Coors Light because between work doesn't stress me out. I love my job. Social media, that does. And the choices life throws our way, like me, not filling up the dog food. It's no wonder.
Again?
No, I did it. Yeah, I did it this morning. It's no wonder we're more worked up than ever, and Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset. Turn that rained-out barbecue into a karaoke house party, or, after a tough loss, settle scores with an ice-cold peace offering. So, Mario, next time you score in your own net, just have a bucket of cold Coors Lights on the bench, and everything will be forgiven.
My next game is supposed to be Sunday. The Ice Hogs win tonight. I will have to miss that game, but if I do go to that game, I am bringing a 6-pack with me for my goaltender because
fair enough. I think
that was rough.
That's a fair peace offering.
Yeah,
but it happens. Well, you made the choice to choose chill, and you should too. Reach for a Coors Light. It is mountain cold refreshment. When the mountains turn blue, and they always are, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door or your bench on the ice with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Yes. And hey, do you like to win money on sports?
Yes.
Well, do it with Circus Sportsbook. They're
Okay.
the best out there because Circa keeps as little money possible on large market bets compared to other books. So games will strive to be at a minus 110 split, for example, on the Circus Sports menu, unlike the other sports books, which may have a minus 115 or a minus 120 split on that same line. So you're going to get the good splits. You're also going to get no limits on winning players. Circus Sports does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit the players. They encourage bettors to download and explore all of the betting apps available, compare the lines, and see that you're going to get the best ones always from Circa Sports. And when it comes to customer service, you're always going to get the best because there are real people behind the Circus Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chatbots. Boo. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main Circus Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So, it's here today. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app at circusports.com/Illinois-app and sign up today. Also, be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. You can text GAMB, G-A-M-B, to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
All right, so the news of the day after eliminating the Islanders, got some time here for the Hurricanes. So details of the contract negotiations between Rod Brind'Amour and the team are underway. Darren Dreger tweeted out, Rod Brind'Amour's future as Carolina's coach is up in the air. Recently, a deal seemed close, but it's believed the offer to extend the highly respected coach has been pulled. Sources say Brind'Amour wants to stay, but may have to test the market if an agreement can't be reached.
I wonder who Darren Dreger's source is.
I don't know. Maybe it's Bod Brind'Amour.
Let me
Todd
Google
Brind'Amour.
Rod Brind'Amour's agent.
Yeah.
And then today, Don Waddell, the Hurricanes GM, said, per the Hockey News, quote, we talk daily about it. I feel very confident, as I've said before, that this deal will get done. Rod wants to be a Hurricane for life, and to me, when you're dealing with contracts, there's always two sides. Rod's been great to deal with, and there's going to be a solution here very quickly, I feel. So, I think that this could be Brind'Amour maybe leveraging maybe a little more for his assistants or whatever it might be.
Could be.
But there's very few coaches in the NHL. John Cooper. I'd probably put Brind'Amour second to him in terms of respected head coaches, guys with kind of name your price, could get hired anywhere the second they're let go.
Yeah, right.
Who else would even be close? Cassidy would be there.
Cassidy.
Yeah.
Jim Montgomery.
Montgomery would be there.
Yeah.
But I think after Cooper, I think Brind'Amour is the guy. And you could argue.
Those would be the two that I would say if there ever was a Blackhawks vacancy and you could have your pick, those would be my first two picks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think the timing of this is rather fun because
it's a
Seattle
team that's active.
Well, Seattle just got rid of their
Yep.
coach.
Yes,
Who's
they
the
did.
general manager of the Seattle Kraken?
Ron Francis.
Ron Francis.
Who was a teammate winning a Stanley Cup in Carolina with Rod Brind'Amour?
I'm going to say Ron Francis.
Yeah, the timing is just a little. I'm not saying Darren Dreger is wrong.
No.
I'm just saying he's reporting what was told to him. I'm not saying Don Waddell is completely, but he is a known shrewd negotiator. Usually gets what he wants. I'm just saying, I think that report was put out there to drive up the price a little bit, because now it's like, hey, I can go play for my buddy Ron. I can go take Seattle's job, hang out with Edzo. Like, it's all good.
Yeah, he's got all of a sudden, Rod Brind'Amour has leverage. I mean, not that he wouldn't before.
Yeah.
But he can point to vacancy, friend.
Yeah. I mean, and
appealing market.
That is one of the many vacancies that have already been made in the league, and probably as you've laid out, makes a lot of sense if he's going to go there, because that's a team that, the team came to Ron Francis and said, like, hey, we don't want Dave Haxtell anymore. So, it wasn't just results driven. It wasn't anything like, it was like, hey, the team's not responding to this guy. They don't want this guy around anymore. And a guy like Brind'Amour, I mean, you've heard from Carolina players over the years that have played for him and currently play for him, like how much he is respected and people want to play for him, how he can get teams motivated and all that. So I mean, he's a guy that gets the most out of his players. So he'd be desirable anywhere he went if he was made available. But yeah, Seattle makes a lot of sense if that's an option. I mean, Buffalo is a team that they just rehired Lindy Ruff?
Yes.
Never mind. Okay, so take Buffalo off the track there.
If they had only waited.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, why get one of the best coaches out there when you can get somebody that you've already had 20 years ago?
Hey,
everybody loves a retread.
I mean, he did get him to a Stanley Cup final back when the rules were completely different.
That's true.
Yeah, well, and Windy City Hockey said Ron Francis also hired Brind'Amour as head coach for Hurricanes. I looked that up because I thought that was true. It's actually not true. It was Waddell.
Damn you, Windy City Hockey.
Waddell and Brind'Amour Waddell was hired May 8th of 2018, and so was Rod Brind'Amour. That was his first order of business. They were hired the same day. But I do believe it was Ron Francis that was brought him in as a coach, both first as an assistant for the Hurricanes and then gave them, I think he coached the Checkers for a little bit ahead of time.
Brind'Amour?
Maybe, no, I don't think he was. But he was brought in as an assistant coach, I believe, by Ron Francis. Nope, that wouldn't be true either. Jim Rutherford. So, yeah, Ron Francis had nothing to do with the hiring or firing of Rod Brind'Amour. But they played together.
Yes.
They're pals.
He might anyway.
Right. The connection. People are going to make the connection because
There is
a
a
lot of
connection.
people
It's
are going to
undeniable.
think exactly. And Windy City Hockey, I thought that was true too until I looked it up. A lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, Ron Francis hired him in Carolina."
It feel like in my mind, it feels that way in my brain timeline.
Because I thought Ron Francis had only been gone like 2 or 3 years. I didn't realize he left in 2018.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was like he was only gone out of hockey for like a year and then Seattle. I was thinking 2020,
Yeah.
2021, but yeah, well, I have no concept of time anymore.
Yeah.
But
Time's a flat circle. I don't know. I think it's going to get worked out. It is like the coach version of Stamkos.
yeah,
And I think Julien Brisebois, the Lightning GM today, was kind of like, we want him back. We'll probably figure something out. And if you missed yesterday's show, we got really deep into the Stamkos stuff. And
could have said that 3 hours earlier.
yeah, I'm glad he waited.
Could have saved us 30 minutes of conversation.
But the Lightning have cap space. They've got it's very, very likely, unless Stamkos is just pissed and like, no, you let me sit through this year as a lame duck. I'm not coming back, which isn't going to happen. That's not his personality at all. I think it's going to get done.
then we'll
But
never get
it's fun to think about. We'll
never get a sequel to see if Victor Hedman's kid actually starts playing hockey.
That's right. That's such a good commercial.
It is a good commercial.
Oh, better start looking at colleges or whatever he said. That's good stuff. So, any other thoughts on these? On some of the teams that one have stood out to you. I picked Colorado to beat the Jets.
Yeah.
And I didn't love it to start because Georgiev looked awful.
Yeah,
Well, the
you
Georgiev
got nervous
haters
after
are-
game one for
but
sure.
Quite quiet these days.
Yeah, and Hellebuck.
Hellebuck, not great.
Not great.
Enjoy that Vesna, but yeah, you kind of hella suck.
Well, we talked about this with the Canucks, right? Like, really good this year. Winnipeg was really good this year too, but a little bit unproven. And the Jets have been in the playoffs. They've had their chances, of course, but I don't know. I'm a little surprised by, I don't want to say easy. This has gone for the Avalanche, or it went for the Avalanche.
It
but
kind of was easy.
it was kind of easy, right?
It wasn't it wasn't as tough as it probably should have been.
I think I picked this to go 7
because their goaltending let them down.
Yeah, but just I don't know. It's
I mean, even in the game that Georgiev gave up 7, Hellebuck still gave up 6.
yes.
You put up 6 on Hellebuck and lose, that's an accomplishment. Yeah. That is really hard to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But to Georgiev's credit, he was public enemy number 1 in Colorado.
Yeah.
And if, Justice
Eustace Antonin or whatever.
Yeah,
his
Justice
name is.
League goalie who got his first career shutout against the Blackhawks. If he wasn't sick, he probably starts game 2.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
The only reason he didn't start game 2 is because he was getting over an illness. If he was 100%, who knows what happens?
Yeah,
He
could've
probably
been-
starts game 2.
Could have been different.
Maybe you get the same result because Hellebuck's probably still bad, regardless of what's going on. But credit to Georgiev for bouncing back. A lot of goalies would have just...
Hey, that's an all-star, my friend.
Hey, he led the league in wins
true.
for a reason.
Yeah.
And now he's tied for the lead in wins in the playoffs.
And can I talk about one thing with the Canucks series?
Yeah.
I was like the last guy to like Nikita Zadorov as a Hawk. I feel like he was just really misused here.
Yeah, he was.
I like that guy, man.
He's fun. He's got he's a likable guy.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I think he's got the perfect fit in Vancouver because they don't need him to be a shutdown defender. They don't need him to be a top pairing guy. They've got that covered. So go out, be a second pairing guy,
Lay people out.
hit people,
Denounce Putin.
talk trash,
Have
fun.
Have great suits.
score a goal.
Yeah, he's a fun player.
He was
Yeah.
fun when he was here. He was just frustrated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for every hand grenade hit he laid, there was a hand grenade pass he
The,
was
the
distributing.
last
Yeah.
system a defenseman like Nikita Zadorov should play in
Is
is
man to
Jeremy
man.
Colleton's system.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because he would just never be where he should be, but it wasn't necessarily his fault.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because when you broke down his numbers at the end of that year, analytically, he had a pretty good season with the Blackhawks.
Yeah. The eye test was poor, but the actual numbers of that season, like he wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't
Yeah.
the right fit.
The eye test with everybody was poor that year.
Yeah, it
everybody looked like ass under Jeremy
Yeah,
Colleton.
it was not the right fit.
Yeah, Duncan Keith looked clueless out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of accomplishments, if you can make Duncan Keith look
really.
clueless,
Really.
you've done something.
Yeah, it was. I enjoy watching him play. He is a character, and the game needs more dudes like that. Like honestly,
Absolutely.
Opinionated, fun to watch, physical, kind of a throwback in that way. But he's been keeping up defensively even in these playoff series, so he's been good.
Yeah.
Oh, we got our buddy Windy City Hockey, who we have forgiven for his single mistake, has adopted a puppy named Duncan.
Nice.
Nice.
Look at
Very
that.
nice.
You got to get another
Orleans
one.
puppies.
Siebes. Biscuit.
Or Keith.
Yeah.
Name your dog Biscuit. That's a good name.
I mean, that's just a very good generic. It's like Spot
Yeah.
or it's not a good gender.
I have learned that my dog's name Bailey is one of the most common dog
It
names.
is. I have
Uh,
two
yeah.
cousins that have dogs named Bailey.
I did it because I love It's a Wonderful Life.
Bailey?
I thought it
Which
was.
Bailey?
Thought it was gonna be
George
for
Bailey.
Blackhawks legend Josh Bailey.
No, no, it should have been. Damn it!
It wasn't
I
for
blew it.
Bailey's Irish Cream.
I mean, maybe a little bit sometimes.
In the winter. Yeah.
Bailey's Harbor in Door County. Also, there's a lot of reasons we chose Bailey, but primarily
Beetle Bailey.
all the Baileys except dumbass Uncle Billy.
I know.
You had
So
one
Oh
job.
my God, I hate Uncle Billy.
my friend
every
got me.
December.
Have you ever seen I know it's not Christmas time.
You're triggering me.
Have you ever seen the NPR review of It's a Wonderful Life?
I've
Where
not.
It's not NPR, it's The Onion.
Okay,
And the
that's
guy
even better.
goes off
Two
on Uncle
different
Billy,
things.
and he says, "Classic Uncle Billy horse shit." My friend got me a shirt that says "Classic
I
Uncle Billy
hate
horse
Uncle
shit."
Billy so
I'll wear it around Christmas. It'll be good. It'll be a big hit.
Yeah, Uncle Billy.
That's a great
yeah.
Son of a bitch. Oh,
Tie
you-
another rope on your finger, you
Yeah.
dumb old bastard. You
Yeah.
gotta. I'll send it to you. It's great. If you've not seen it, just after the show, YouTube the Onion review of It's a Wonderful Life.
I love
and
that
it
movie,
is-
too.
It is laugh
Yeah.
out loud funny. It's my favorite movie of all time.
That's good.
I love that movie.
definitely up there for me.
Barring none. That is my favorite movie. From the moment the bell sounds to the credits roll, I am crying at various intensities.
Yes, sure.
You know, he starts like a little leak and then it's like starts to pour. Also, Donna Reed.
Oh, yeah. Sure, yeah.
Hey, you want to know another fun
Still would.
trivia fact from It's a Wonderful Life?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Okay, trivia guy.
The cops
Always.
are named Bert and
Bert
Ernie.
and Ernie,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bert and Ernie.
And that's
yeah.
where they use
where
the
they got
inspiration
from Sesame Street.
All right, maybe that was a little. Maybe I've used that before. on
I've seen the
show.
movie 600 times, so it's Bert, Ernie. There's a part
Yeah.
where George Bailey like calls for them.
Sounds like Kermit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's pretty good. If you've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, check it out.
Yes.
Not to spoil it for anybody.
Christmas in May here on CHGO Blackhawks.
It's never a bad time to watch that.
We should also mention Evil Bills.
Yes, Evil Bills.
Yes,
You're a
yes,
guy.
Evil
Speaking of
Bills.
and Billies.
You're
yeah.
one of our longtime diehards, takeover goer too, and now
He took over this contest.
Bacon champion. We were informed last night by our guy Charlie the Bacon Guy. Your huge order going out to Virginia put us over the top.
Your
Hell
week-
yeah.
And CHGO Blackhawks
Your
won
week's worth of bacon.
the bacon contest. So thank you, Evil Bills, for everything you do, your daily viewership, your kindness to everyone in the chat.
Being a super nice guy at the
Coming
events.
to takeovers and
Yeah.
buying an entire cow's worth of bacon.
To be a pig,
Or
but
a
yes.
pig.
Big cow.
yeah, cow bacon.
No,
not as good.
It's bacon from a pig, but it weighs as much as a cow. That's how much
There
you
you go,
ordered.
yeah,
Fair
there you
enough.
He
Love
says
it.
thank the wife. Well, your
All
wife
right,
is
thank
awesome.
you,
All right,
Evil
well, that works too.
Megan.
Uh,
Mrs. Evil
just a
Bills.
guess.
Yes,
I don't know.
evil, not so evil, Mrs. Not So Evil Bills. If she ever wants to order bacon and send it to my house, I'll allow it.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll hold it for you till you're back in town.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap things up. We're back tomorrow. Playoff reaction. We got a new little thing we're doing on Thursdays, right, Greg?
Yeah, we're gonna start that tomorrow.
Sure.
Sure.
All right.
What the hell?
What else
Why
we got
not?
going?
What else is
Sure.
going on?
You
On
want
the
to
fly.
preview it or you want to surprise people?
No, I came up with an idea for Thursdays. We're gonna do top 10 Thursdays
Love it.
on the off season.
Trademarked already.
Yes.
It's a Wonderful Life.
We're gonna pick
Ooh,
a topic
characters.
every week. We'll each come up with like our own top 10 list to
Top 10 It's a Wonderful Life character.
come
Top
up
10
with an
hottest
overall
dead
top
actresses.
10 list, and then I don't know what tomorrow's topic will be. They'll mostly be hockey related, but it's a long off season.
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe, we could even get the diehards involved on Discord, and they could
Sure.
pick some topics for us.
Love that. Let's do that.
So yes, top 10 ways to eat bacon tomorrow on Top 10 Thursday.
Top 10 ways to eat bacon?
Yes, with my
I'm just
mouth.
going to say with my mouth. Ah, damn it.
Number one.
Number one.
I don't know. I'm done. I'm out. I got to tap out. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. Hey, hit that like button for us on the way out. I didn't say that enough, so we'll give you a few seconds to do that. Yeah, new thing from Greg tomorrow. Hockey games tonight.
Ice
Ice
Hogs
Hogs
game
tonight.
Ice
too.
Hogs
yeah.
game, too, yeah.
Big
Ice
game.
Hogs,
Gotta
6
win.
o'clock puck drop against Grand Rapids.
You don't want to
Griffins.
call game 2 of a series must win, but when it's a best of 5, you
Yeah.
kind of got to win this one.
They, much like the Leafs, their backs are
I would-
getting close to the wall.
I would imagine Drew Comezzo's in net. It's pretty much been a tandem the
Yeah.
whole season, every other.
Yeah.
I mean, Comezzo even played the last game of the regular season, so Stauber
Yeah.
got.
Anders Sorensen said that essentially they're going to continue to go tandem until someone
So what happens?
says that they're
Comezzo
they're
goes
the
out.
starter.
Gets a 37 save shutout.
Maybe.
You go back to him for game 3, or you keep it going.
Sure.
Let's hope they have
Roll
that
it.
question.
But I mean, I will say, even though they lost game 1 in overtime, like the only reason it got to overtime was because Jackson Stauber played
Right.
so well.
He was very good.
Like if he has just an average game, that game doesn't even go to overtime. So, so it'll be interesting to see. We haven't
good
seen
problem
the
to have. Ask
haven't
the
seen the
Boston
lineups yet. Yeah, to have good 2 goaltenders that you can rely on is a good thing. Haven't seen the lineups yet, but yeah, 6 o'clock puck drop. If you're in Rockford, you can get it on TV. If you are looking for a way to watch it on TV, AHL TV, they'll get you hooked up.
I think it's
You'll
only
have to-
$25 for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's a deal.
It's not bad. Hopefully, if you pony up for that, the Ice Hogs make it worth your while for a few more games.
Definitely. All right, we'll talk to everybody tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks to Law for running the show. And we'll see you at Top 10 Thursday on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.